Welcome to the Vibe Doctor podcast. Today I want to help you out if you are under mental attack. If you don't know what mental attack means, it's where, it's not just one disturbing thought, but it's a thought, a group of thoughts, a memory, a negative or fearful thought of any kind, and it just keeps coming, and it's producing anxiety in your body. It's producing a fear reaction in your body. You're unable to focus. You're unable to do anything else. It is consuming. It is all consuming of your mental space. So this isn't just one little thought and then you're able to do like your 2-chair method or your 4 steps to enter the 5D exercise. Like, those will not work here. Like, you're flooded. Like, your mental space is flooded with an old program, past pain. I mean, it is all there, and it is in full force, and it is relentless. I want to give you first a perspective that will help you understand what's happening. First of all, let me say I'm very sorry that you're in this space, and I invite you to just take a breath with me. And I'm glad that you were able to find this audio wherever you found it, and that you're going to be okay. And I know how scary this is, and I know how real it seems, and I know how threatening it is, and I know how much you don't want it. I know how much you don't want whatever is being screamed at you in your head, in your mental space. I know you don't want this. And it's okay. And you're okay. And you're not going to go back into that space and create more of that. You're just going to stand right here in neutral with me. Right now, I have grabbed you. Whatever you were about to do, take action, whatever it had convinced you, those flying monkeys had convinced you to do. Out of fear, you're going to stop and you're just going to come here with me. You're just going to float for a second. And I want you to just imagine that as you breathe in, you're floating up, and we're on the water, and you're floating up. And then you're floating down as you breathe out. And you're floating up, and you're floating down. And I know that voice is still loud, and I know it's still screaming at you. And I know it's hard to focus on even what I'm saying because the pain inside is really real. And it does not feel good. I'm going to give you some good news right now. If you are feeling this, something you have been working on during your Dreamtime chair sessions or during something you've been really wanting is starting to manifest in your world. It's at that beginning stages of starting to take form and surface in your 3D, in your physical world. And the reason you're under attack is because our subconscious minds, that creative space, you can call it whatever you want to, but that space where we create, no matter if we've created a horrible life of pain and suffering and we've played in that, or if we've created marvelous, wonderful things. That space, that programming space, has a fail-safe mechanism that if anything starts to change, if anything starts to shift that goes against that program, it will activate what I call the flying monkeys. And these are just thoughts, their memories, their words, their beliefs, and they all come up to the surface to say, hey, no, wait a minute. This is the truth here because this is our set program. So right now, there's a resistance coming up in you, and it has flooded. I mean, it's big. It's not just a little bit of resistance. It's a big one. This is a big one, Elizabeth. This is it. But it is coming up because it knows you're on the verge of shifting this whole belief and it falling apart. And you not repeating this ever again. You not repeating this circumstance. This not being something in your reality ever again. You're shifting it, you're reprogramming it, and you're very, very close. So it's pulling out all the stops. It's not just like a, hey, come back here. It's a like, get her, or get him and pull them back in and attack them and destroy their confidence or whatever's going on in your world that you're being attacked, making you question yourself, making you doubt yourself, whatever's going on in there. This is an attack. Like this can't happen. This program is trying to protect itself. This old pattern of belief, this old wound, this old pain is trying to protect itself and is pulling out all the stops. So if this is what you're under right now, good news. This is starting, the balance, the scales, if you look at the scales, they are about to tip. You have poured in enough healing, enough focus in the direction of what you want, that the scales are tipping. And this is a last cry and plea for help to stop you from bringing into your 3D world whatever it is you're bringing in, because you're bringing it in, or you wouldn't be under this mental attack. It's coming. Whatever you've been focusing on that you've been wanting is coming. Or you wouldn't be under this attack. To say, hey, whoa, wait a minute, it's coming. Okay, so that's the good news. That's the higher perspective. And now I want to give you a tool, because I know you're in the battle. I know you're in the throes of it, and I know you need something to help protect yourself against the pain that's coming at you, the anxiety that's coming at you, the reaction your physical body is having, the words, the thoughts, and it's just, like I said, I cannot stress the word relentless enough. It just keeps on and on all day, all night. Okay? So let's stop it right now. Are you ready? In your imagination, or if you're alone and you can do this in your outer world, I want you to place your hands in front of you as if you are holding a sword in your hands. And the sword is pointing upwards, straight in front of your face. And the blade is out, as in if something were to come in front of you and hit that, sword is standing up, but the cutting edge is right in front of your face. So if anything comes from outside of you towards you, the words, the memories, the pain, whatever it is going to split into two and go right past you. It cannot enter into your mental space. What is this sword? This sword is the sword of truth. This sword itself represents truth, cutting through the lies of the old programs you used to entertain, you used to believe in, you used to suffer with. All of that is being cut through. All of it is being cut through in a way. And as it passes by you, it is being transmuted from pain to power. All that pain is coming at you. Now, if you are feeling like as antagonizing, as it's saying all this stuff, if you feel emotional pain, what I'd like you to do is not focus on the words and the details of what's causing the pain, but I'd like you to absorb that pain and dissolve it. Stand in it for a second till it dissolves. Or ask yourself, does those words, are they even hurting me? Are those memories, are they hurting me? Does it actually hurt emotionally? Does it? If you feel nothing, wonderful. You've already dissolved the pain of the emotion. And all it is just like being bombarded and mentally attacked, trying to stress out your mental space with all the words. So it's not actual pain you need to, or emotional pain you need to dissolve, because it's not really actually making you feel emotionally bad, as in you don't actually believe it. It's just bombarding you like a lot. So if you don't actually believe it, but it's just like so much that it's so stressful inside your mental space and you can't focus. If that's the case, good news. Like, just stand there, and all I need you to do is declare these words. They're very powerful. I stand in the power of my truth. Hold your sword. I stand in the power of my truth. Now, you may have to say this over and over and over, and you're just like that thing is talking nonstop. You have to talk nonstop. I stand in the power of my truth. I rest behind this sword. I rest in the power of my truth. I focus on the truth. I hold the truth. Keep saying the word truth. You can rephrase it. You can use different words around it, but include the word truth. The truth will slice through that old program, those flying monkeys, that mental attack, that flood of yuck that is in your space. It will cut through every single bit of it. And it will stop. And you'll be like, oh my goodness, it's done. It's not saying that anymore. It's done. Oh wow, thank God. What a relief. It's done. Now, if you are, which I feel like for most of you listening, there won't be a lot of emotional disturbance as far as like, oh, those words, I really do believe those words and they do hurt me. Now, there may be some, but I just don't think a lot, because you're creating something that's coming, and therefore you've been playing in a different space than that. But if you are triggered by the words that it is saying, as in it gets a guttural, like it hits you in the stomach and it's like, ugh, oh God, there's pain there. I want you, don't run from that, okay? Oh, I don't like that pain at all, but there it is, and I'm going to dissolve it. I'm just going to sit with it until it dissolves. I'm going to focus my attention on the feeling, not the words, those are being cut by the sword. Don't worry about the words that are coming. Feel what emotion the words are stirring up in you, if any. Again, if any, there may not actually be any. It may just be super annoying and distracting. But if there are emotions, feel it. Like, really feel into what it feels. Ugh, it's tightness in my chest, or it's pressure on my shoulders, or it's tightness in my head, or it's a punch in my gut, or find where it feels in your body and just sit with that feeling. Face it. Dissolve it. This is how you evolve past it. This is how you take the power out of it. So if there's any power left in it, which if you've been doing your 2-chair method as things have been coming up, or you're doing your 4-step to enter the kingdom of heaven exercise, I need to shorten that title. That's a lot to say. Then you probably already dissolved the emotion of it. There's probably not a whole lot of, physical body pain that you feel with it. You've already dissolved that. So this is just an attack, okay? And you'll just need, I stand in the power. You just want to shut the voice down. You're not fighting with the voice, but you can shut the voice down. I stand in the power of my truth. I stand in the power of my truth. I rest. I'm protected. I stand behind the power of my truth. I'm protected by the power of my truth. Whatever you want to phrase it or word it, just use the word truth. And it will stop. You watch and see the words. That's a very powerful word, truth. the words will stop. The attack will stop. You will reclaim your mental space and your peace. A good key here is continue to do your two-chair method and your 4 steps to enter the kingdom of heaven. That's when just, a little bit of resistance comes up. One flying monkey attacks, like one memory or one thought or one, it's not overwhelming. It's just like, oh, yeah, yuck. Let me see if I feel that in my body. Let me face it. Let me sit with it. Let me dissolve it. And then let me go back to my kingdom. Like, that's all there is to it. That's a daily work. And if you do that, when you are about to tip the scales and an attack does come, like a last-ditch effort by the flying monkeys, you're not going to feel a whole lot in your body. You may have like a anxiety reaction of like, oh my God, what's happening? Like this, I've not been in this for such a long time. Like I've not felt this in such a long time. Well, you're feeling it because it's shifting. The scales have shifted. This old program is about to die. It's the last-ditch effort to save itself. So you're flooded with these words and these thoughts and these memories, and it's just like relentless. And oh my God, it's horrible, okay, and scary. It can be very scary when this happens. Relax, stand with your sword in front of you. See your hands holding that sword in front of you. Focus on your hands, how they feel as they're holding the sword. I stand in the power of my truth. You will reclaim your peace. I hope this helps. See you on the next one.